Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Thursday, April 6th. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Coming up on today's show, I have the pleasure of introducing you to the mobile organization YAIPak Outreach. It stands for You Are Important. We hear from the founder and CEO on the work this organization is doing for the homeless and those who may not be able to get the vital resources they need. And let me share with you right now that they help hundreds of thousands of individuals. After that, we hear more about Operation Stand Down. Operation Stand Down recently opened their newest location in Columbia, Tennessee. Well, today we hear from the Clarksville Regional Director on how they're connecting veterans and their families with the services needed. But first, let's get a check of the headlines. Prayer vigils and fundraisers continue on for those killed in the March 27th shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville. What you see here is a picture of one prayer vigil held this week at Fairview High School. You can read more about this vigil and others at mainstreetmediatn.com. And a traumatic event such as the school shooting is hard to come to terms with and to understand, especially for younger ones. By going to the CheathamCountyExchange.com, you can read and share 9 tips for talking to kids after traumatic events from Dr. Rebecca Lemons, who is the Managing Director of Clinical Services at Youth Villages. Again, you can find that at CheathamExchange.com. And then check out this picture. This is a look at some of the Maury County bus drivers recognized by the Maury County Public School Transportation Department and Sonic Restaurants. This is something that is done each month. Find out more by going to mainstreetmaury.com. Well, we had storms, some severe weather overnight. Let's check in and see what is ahead of us by turning to our friends at Tennessee Valley Weather.
I'm Kelly Rawson here with your Thursday forecast. We're starting off with some rain and maybe a few thunderstorms. That's going to continue throughout the rest of your Thursday with on and off times of rainfall. A few periods of dry conditions though for southern middle Tennessee. We're looking at a few showers continue to filter in for tonight and continuing overnight into your Friday morning. And we're going to see some dry periods, but we're also going to see rain continue to filter in here into the Tennessee Valley. Some heavy at times, upwards of 2 to 3 inches are possible as we round out the day on Saturday. Here's your 7-day forecast from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Again, starting off a little bit stormy for your Thursday and then continuing with the rain chances Friday, Saturday. But the good news is for Easter weekend, the second half of your Saturday is looking dry, and then Easter Sunday is actually looking quite nice with temperatures in the upper 60s with dry conditions under a partly to mostly cloudy sky. We continue the dry conditions as we head into next week.
The mission is to show up, love people, and be good stewards. I'm talking about the mission of YAIPak Outreach here in Clarksville, Tennessee. I have Sherry Nicholson. She is the founder of YAIPak. First off, Sherry, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
You guys have come a long way. Share with us, and I know a lot of people in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area, well, and even other areas know Sherry and they know the mission of YAIPak, but not everyone. Kind of share with us how you guys got started.
Oh, wow. We got started because of an elderly lady that we found on a park bench in the corner of West End and 23rd in Nashville. That elderly lady was homeless, trying to get a little black comb through her matted up hair, and had a little yellow stuffed animal in all of her belongings. She was in the backdrop at this park bench that she was on. The backdrop was this majestic, beautiful church. And just across the street was Vandy. And for me in that moment, time utterly slowed down. And it was because of her and her situation that my life radically got transformed and YAIPak was birthed.
What year was that?
That was in 2016.
So 2016 now to 2023. How far have you guys come in that period of time?
Oh my goodness. I say we've been on steroids for the last 6 years. We started out just handing out purses out of the trunk of my Toyota Camry. Mm-hmm. And we might have done, a couple of 100 women in a year. And that was our first year. This past year, we served over 850,000 individuals. And that is through all 4 programs. Over 23,000 of those were children.
Can you touch on the programs that you have?
Yeah, so we have 4 major programs. We have our Project Patriot Hope that involves our homeless veterans that we are working to get them out of those camps and into housing and to set them up and get them off to a good start. So there's multiple facets to that program, making sure that they're emotionally healthy, that they're physically healthy, and that they're stable with all the basic life necessities that they need. We are working with Project Foster Hope. That is our children's program. That's because of a little boy that I found in a camp in a dilapidated tent. And it took us 9 months to get him off the street. We found multiple children since that time in camps, and so Project Foster Hope was birthed out of that. Those children, once they're either rescued from that camp or their family's able to get into housing or whatever the situation is, when they're going into foster care, it was that gap as an organization we wanted to fill from the moments of trauma to the time they were placed with a loving foster care family. And so now we are serving children in trauma on a daily basis through our emergency pack out program, as well as our community events, which encompasses Be the Hope. That's another one of our projects where we go straight out into the middle of where they are. So whether it's disaster relief, which is our Project Rebuild Hope, we're going straight into the middle of those neighborhoods, partnering with school systems, partnering with the faculty, partnering with local government to get into those under-resourced, those places that have food insecurities, and making sure that we're meeting the needs right there where they are. We're able to assess those situations, and really we want to bring community change to those situations, not just something for free, but how do we shift and create an opportunity for those children to grow, become stronger, and be a volunteer in their own community as well as a business owner and giving back. So we're developing all those programs as we move forward.
As we're talking, you're seeing the warehouse, you're seeing your space now. What is, you get to walk in here every day. How long have you guys been in this building?
A year now.
A year?
Yeah.
What do you think every time you walk in?
I'm speechless still. I'm speechless still. I walk in and I just shout, thank you sometimes. I'm not a singer, but I'll come in and just sing because I'm a grateful heart. This place is a parting of the Red Sea miracle for us. It's not every day that an organization has a warehouse given to them and a generous donor that says, I believe in what you're doing, keep changing lives. And that's happened here, and so it's just a place of miracles. And it's not just through the front doors. When you come in and see what's happening on a day-to-day basis, the donations, the volunteers, the people that walk through that door, it is ongoing, genuine, heartfelt miracles that are happening here. So we love to say, welcome to paradise.
I want to touch on the welcome to paradise because we've all heard the world works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. If you get what you give. When you talk about paradise and you say, when you come in the door, welcome to paradise. When people come in, they say, welcome to paradise.
Yeah.
How long did you guys have your eyes on paradise?
So we had our eyes on paradise just a few months after YAIPak actually started. My original team would come out here. They said, Sherry, there's this place, you've got to see it. I came and we looked at it and the roof was dilapidated. I was like, well, I guess we could cover stuff with tarps and maybe volunteers would help us fix it up. But it was like a 6-year-old asking their daddy for a Maserati. We were not prepared. But we loved, paradise just stuck out. And I said, how cool would it be? Well, the building sold and we didn't know who it sold to. And so my team that was originally with me, PCS, they moved on, military. And so as I started seeing it being remodeled, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I would just, get in the front parking lot and I would just say, God, if you could do anything. And I'd drive away. Well, after the last year's storm in Western Kentucky, when all the devastating tornadoes hit, I needed to move a mountain of stuff. And I called the person who I was at the other warehouse at. And we always say we went from a closet to a castle because this has been a castle move. But I called and said, I'm really about to overwhelm that downtown spot. Do you have any empty Connexes? I'm really got a lot of supplies. And he called me back about 10 minutes and said, could you go to Paradise? And I thought I wasn't hearing him right. And I said, huh? He said, can you go to Paradise? And I said, what? So this went on 5 times. I said, huh? And he said, Sherry, do you know where Paradise is? And I said, yes, okay. I was so excited. I mean, what do you say? That just doesn't typically happen. I was blown away. And so here we are. It has been home, and it has been a place of community. We said, let it be a place for the nations. We are seeing extraordinary things happen with even refugees that we're hearing incredible stories of life change, such as an 8th grade year. She was a 8th grader, had no family. She swam across the Rio Grande by herself. Border Patrol agents found out that she had an uncle in Nashville, sent her there. The uncle told her, you have 1 year to live with me and you got to get out. And we've been able to serve her and see her move through that school with success. Yeah.
That's incredible.
We've been able to follow even some of these children who were babies when we first started, and now they're toddlers. And so, yeah, it's exciting to see life change for them.
3 more questions for you. So one, if someone's seeing this for the first time, they're just now hearing about YAIPak Outreach and your mission and what you do, and they say, you know what, we're a school, we know of kids, we know of a place, people that do need help. How do they reach out to you?
So they can Facebook message us. We're on Facebook under YAIPak Outreach. Okay. You can visit our website at www.yay. Yay is YAI. It is an acronym for You Are Important. So it's YAIPak in a whole is You Are Important People Administering Kindness, so YAIPak Outreach. Okay. But they can reach out to the website, www.yayoutreach.org. We have emails there that they can reach out to. We're listed on Google search. We pop up pretty quick, so there's phone numbers there, emails. We try to make it as easy as possible. If anything in your local, you can drive up on one of our volunteer days.
Okay, I have to say you have a website that is very user-friendly.
Yes.
So very.
I hope so. We tried. I want to be able to look at it.
Another one, we see some flags behind us. What is this for?
Oh my goodness. Those flags are a way that we want gratitude to just flow through here. And so what we're doing is we have a lot of sponsors and donors and things like that we want the community to see what their community is doing. And so we started with some of our biggest sponsors and donors when it came to the warehouse and the electrical and the pallet shelving, just those big things that we needed to have to be super efficient and clean. We want a clean warehouse. We want to be a good steward of all those items. We want people to trust us with their donations. And so for a lot of those, we're putting that up there and honoring them and saying thank you, and we hope to fill the whole ceiling with just thank you flags.
Well, just by looking at this, you're going to at some point, because a lot of donations, and YAIPak Outreach is donation driven, solely donation driven.
Solely donation driven. We don't take any federal money, any government grants. We are all donation based.
Wow. Is there anything that I haven't asked yet or that we haven't kind of touched on that you think people want to hear, that you want them to know?
Oh gosh.
That's always my last question. I'll tell you, that's always my last one, because again, you never know what we might have missed.
Absolutely. No, it's an incredible question. I think my biggest thing I encourage people is come out and see it. We invite people all the time, come take a tour first. And any new volunteers that come, they get a tour first, because I would rather them know why they're serving than just throw them in. Okay. And so they get to see why it's important that they're digging through that bag of clothes, or they're zip tying a pair of shoes together, or they're stacking boxes on a pallet, or they're loading a truck to go here or to go there, or filling those clothes bins, or whatever that looks like. We want them to know the reason behind it. And hopefully when they know the mission behind it and the importance behind it, then their heart is ready to buy into the vision and become more of a part of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this with all of us. Again, Sherry Nicholson, YAIPak Outreach, based out of Clarksville, Tennessee. We appreciate what you do. Just thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We have more coming up after this.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Welcome back. We're at the Operation Stand Down office this morning, visiting with the director of the Clarksville region, Dan Moore. First off, Dan, thank you for your time, your valuable time.
Oh, no, well, thank you for coming.
You know, so many of us, especially if you live in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area, may be familiar with Operation Stand Down. Some of you may not be. You guys have 3 offices now. You just opened your newest one in Columbia. Share with us what Operation Stand Down does, what they're here for those who may not know.
So Operation Stand Down is a veteran service organization. We help veterans and their families in time of need, and we follow 3 core tenets, and that is connection, careers, and crisis. So with connection, we can help connect veterans to resources or maybe a VA representative should they need to file a compensation claim, or other resources in the area. For career services, you know, we have a team that their role is to help with resume assistance, mock job interviews, or connecting them with HR representatives from the local companies. And we like that because it's a personal touch. You know, they make those relationships. And then finally, unfortunately, we do have some veterans that are in crisis, and that's where that third tenet of crisis comes in. So we can assist with housing for veterans. We can pay a security deposit and a few months' rent to help get them off the street. We have ways to keep them in their housing, and then we can also help with some utility assistance or other, emergency food and other things along those lines.
Now, Dan is you're a military veteran yourself.
Yes.
So you know exactly what it's like to make that transition out of.
Absolutely.
Why is a service like this vital to a military man or woman, a veteran getting out?
Well, I can speak from personal experience that, when you're transitioning, you're thinking about what you need to do to get it done so you can move on to the next phase. And I personally, I thought the transition assistance that I received from TAP on Fort Campbell, I thought it was great, a lot of information. However, I was just focused on clearing my housing and doing what I needed to do to move on. Then afterwards, you realize I don't really understand how the civilian life works. I need to learn more about the VA and what I need to do there. And that's where Operation Stand Down can come in. We can help. In fact, that's what I tell our veterans a lot, when I meet those that are transitioning. I tell them, look, you're not going to have it all figured out. After you get out, come and see us, and we'll help steer you in the right direction.
And I may be ignorant in what I'm about to say, but at first you would think, you have that little bit of freedom. You have that, you're getting out. It's like, oh, I can do and go wherever. From what I've learned, the more I talk to veterans, it is not that easy. That freedom is not something that is welcomed all the time.
You lose your safety net. Like for me, another personal example, 20 years, I'm told where to be, what time, what uniform. And I remember the first time I drove out of state without asking someone. And
what was that feeling like?
It was such a weird feeling, like, wow, I don't have to let people know where I'm going. I don't have to put in a request. So it definitely is a transition. And some, are fine with it. And then there are others that it's a harder transition, depending on what your experience was in the military.
Gotcha. And you guys had your first office in Nashville, Tennessee, this office here in Clarksville, and again, recently opened one in Columbia. Why Columbia, Tennessee?
So we serve 20 counties in Middle Tennessee, and the southern counties that we serve, like Murray County, in that area, we wanted to open an office there so veterans could, they could get in and meet with our team face to face. So, geographically that made the most sense. And the great thing is we're really close to the VA center down there, so there'll be a lot of synergy as we continue to build the office.
Very nice. And you guys are gearing up for an event that is going to be happening later on here in April. What event is that? Why is it so important?
So it's our annual Heroes Breakfast, and it's going to be on April 25th at the Wilma Rudolph Event Center. And we're really excited about that because, well, our keynote speaker, she's great, Sergeant Major retired Gretchen Evans. So, wow, what a story. I don't want to spoil it, but those that are going to attend, it's going to be an absolute delight. So the purpose of that, we don't do a lot of fundraising. You know, we're focused, especially here in Clarksville, case management, you know, the one-on-one with the veterans and helping to take care of whatever they need. But with this event, this helps raise the unrestricted funds that we use for our utility payments for veterans and things that aren't tied to a grant. So it really helps us to, you know, with those one-time payments that we need to make for veterans.
Very nice. How do we connect with you? For any veteran maybe seeing this or someone who has a veteran in their family or a friend, how do they connect with you?
Well, we have a Clarksville Facebook page as well as a standard, you know, Operation Stand Down Facebook page. We also have a website. It's osdtn.org. And then finally, if they want to call our office, it's 931-896-2184. And if they just call or they reach out to us, you know, through our website, it'll go to our front desk, and the staff member will let them know. We'll find out what they need, and then let them know, you know, what they need to do.
Fantastic. Dan, is there anything I haven't asked you yet that you want to share?
I think that's it. I'm sure something will come to me as soon as we leave here.
It always happens that way as soon as we end. But, you know, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to talk with one of the amazing staff members here at Operation Stand Down here in Clarksville to talk about how she connects those veterans with potential careers as they move forward. Dan, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for having me.
Anytime. Stick with us. We have more coming up after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Welcome back. I mentioned we would have someone special with us when we came back, so I have her now. She is the Career Service Specialist, Daphne Augustine, with Operation Stand Down in the Clarksville region. First off, Daphne, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Well, tell us about your role and why it is so vital here for Operation Stand Down.
My role here is pretty much assist veterans with employment. I try to link them up with whatever employer best matches their preferences. Not just any employment, just meaningful employment to help them stay on their feet or get back on their feet if they were homeless or due to lack of employment, which is crucial. You know, if you don't have a job, you can't pay for a house, you can't, you can't make a living. So.
What do you hear from them? So as you're working with them, they find that employment. What do you hear from them after the fact? Or are you able to stay connected with them?
Yes, because we do follow-ups. A lot of our veterans are very happy with their matches with employers. Some of them, they might have their different barriers to overcome, and that job may not have worked for them. And at that point, either we look for something else or we see what else can we do, because sometimes you don't necessarily have to start working. You can also go to school by using your benefits until you can find your niche, pretty much.
Very nice. And Daphne, you have a very particular skill set that not a lot of people have. You do speak other languages, so you are able to bridge that gap sometimes. Is that correct?
That is true. I'm sure somebody told you that here. Yes, we've had quite a few French speakers that I've been able to relate to and make them feel like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I'm working. I'm supporting my family. You can do it. You'll be okay. So yes, I do speak French and Haitian Creole, and we have a couple of veterans who are French speakers and Haitian Creole speakers.
That's just incredible that you have that. Being a veteran yourself, did you serve in the military?
Yes, I did.
That's what I was thinking. So being a veteran, how important is having that person to talk to work with, to help out?
It's extremely important. After you get out, sometimes you don't stay connected with your brothers and sisters, and having Operation Stand Down with a lot of us are veterans here. It makes a difference to let them know, hey, it's gonna be okay.
You know, sometimes people can be a little proud and they don't want to ask for help. They don't want to turn to the places that are there for you, that are ready to talk to you and to help you in any way that you can. What can you say to those veterans? What could you say that would help maybe push them to come and say, hey, I could use some assistance?
We got you. Your brothers, your sisters got you. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. That's what we're here for. Don't be too prideful. A lot of us have been there where you were, probably in different ways, but we've been there. You'll be fine.
How lucky they are to work with you. Daphne, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that I haven't asked you that you think could be beneficial?
Well, thank you for having me, but we are always welcoming our veterans. If you are a family member and you know of a veteran who needs career services or any other type of services, if we don't have the answer, we'll find it for them. So, yes.
Daphne, thank you so very much. Again, Operation Stand Down locations. You have one in Nashville, one here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and one in Columbia, Tennessee. That is their newest location. So stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have a little bit more coming up after this.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good drive.
There aren't any cops around.
Didn't think there were any cops around. I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now?
Welcome back. One note I'd like to make is the Extravaganza at the Nashville Zoo is sold out. So unfortunately, they're not taking any more reservations for that. But there are so many other Easter events going on this weekend. Just be sure to look in your area for some fun things to do. Thanks so much for joining us here today. We look forward to seeing you back here on Friday.